What is up, guys? Bunny Muffins here with the patch rundown for 9.18. I heard it's a big patch, so let's see what happened. So some of the new stuff, they added a mystery box system. They changed how items are distributed in PvE rounds. They want to keep a variety of experiences, but also make it more fair over the course of a single game. So common boxes that contain gold, champions, or Nico's help. Uncommon contain item components, gold, champions, or Nico's help. And then rare boxes have spatulas, full items, gold, champions, or Nico's help. So every player gets approximately the same number of boxes and the same number of item components. Not a big fan of this change. I kind of like the item unevenness because it forces you to learn how to take advantage of your high rolls and how to make the best of your low rolls. But I guess it's less rage inducing if you get a bunch of low roll items in a row. Nico's help place a champion to create a 1-star copy of a champion and add it to your bench. Doing so consumes Nico's help. So this is really good if you're stuck on 2 of a kind and you really need that third one. This is actually pretty busted for legendary units because I'm assuming you could get level 2 legendaries much easier now. So that'll be interesting to see. We have some XP adjustment. Whoa, this is a huge change. So pretty much everything is raised by 2 XP, and then level 8 and 9 is raised by 4 XP. Okay, that's gonna really shake up the leveling dynamics. Oh, because you get more gold from the new loot system. That's interesting. But like now for level 5, you can't level up once at Krugs or press the XP button once at Krugs. You need to do it twice. But I guess most people are strong enough to kill Krugs at level 4 anyways, as long as you have 1 or 2 2-stars and the right units. But this definitely huge change. Wow, I wonder what's going to happen from that. Champion drop rates are changed. So at level 3, they're increasing 1-cost units and decreasing 2-cost units. Yeah, that's fine. I actually felt that too many people were completing 2 stars before the first round, so I like this change. At level 5, reducing 1 cost and increasing 4 costs. Ooh, that's a little aggressive. So now you can decide on your compositions much earlier. I think that takes skill out of the game a little bit because you normally build your compositions around 4-cost units, and now you just know a lot earlier what you're gonna get. So I guess it improves consistency, but it takes away a little bit of the skill cap in the game for uncommon situations. Level 6, remove legendaries. I guess overall that's fine. We'll see how it plays out. I guess with Nico's help, no, but you really only get 1 legendary. You never really get 2, so Nico's help doesn't really do that much. I'm not a fan of this change. I kind of liked having that small chance of getting the legendary because it's not like you're going to get it to level 2. Most level 1 legendaries are only there for their type, not really because they carry games that hard. Though they're definitely good at this stage, but I'd rather have a completed level 3 unit on the field than a legendary, for example, in terms of power level. But this does help you decide your composition a little earlier, but that's a little weird. Hard to judge how the game will change from that. Level 9, that doesn't really matter, but they're increasing legendary chances. So I guess we'll see more 3-star legendaries then, right? Everything else is the same. Champion pool sizes. It's been a bit too consistent to get 2-star tier 3 champions, so we're shrinking the bag size. Okay, so they're reducing the amount of tier 3 champions. However, overall, this shouldn't change that much depending on how much Nico's help drops, because you could just complete the 3-star by using that. So I guess overall, it probably remains the same if your 3-cost unit is like core to your composition, such as like Gangplank compositions or Rengar compositions. You could probably still complete it pretty easily. Item stacking clarity. Okay, so they're marking out unique items and listing out all the items that are not intended to stack. That's good. Definitely makes the game much easier to read. Let's look at the traits. New 9-piece bonuses. There's now 9 assassins and 9 sorcerers. I'm guessing this is from just from spatula items. Yeah, they're not adding new champions. Yeah, that's fine. You're probably never going to reach this, so it's kind of irrelevant. Wild. So this is the same, but all their attacks can't miss. Wow, that is a huge change. Let's see if there are any Yordle buffs, or because no one really plays Phantom Dancer that much. It's like only used in shapeshifters, and maybe if like your whole lobby's going assassins, you'll build Phantom Dancer. So I guess this only really affects Yordles, which I don't know why they're doing that because Yordles are already not that popular. So I don't see a reason to add this mechanic. Oh, that's crazy. That's really good for like Rengar because he crits so much. So anyone who builds Phantom Dancer, he's going to be insane against now. He doesn't need Rapid Fire Cannon anymore. It's probably going to be Guardian Angel, Bloodthirster, and Infinity Edge. General trait adjustments, elemental armor increase. That's good. Elementals are weak. Night damage reduction increased at later levels. That's fine. Assassin jump delay increased. So I think that's good for assassins because it gives more time for the enemy units to walk away from their clumped up position. So this should help assassins not get stuck as much. Let's look at some of the champion changes. Camille, attack damage increase, Elise buff, Graves buff, Kasten nerf, Kha'Zix nerf. Whoa. So Camille and Elise, it's whatever, they're still the same champion, but Graves, that's a pretty big buff. He's already pretty strong, so we can probably see him as an early game option much more often now. Kasten's irrelevant. Kha'Zix, this is a very big change. I don't know why they keep nerfing Kha'Zix. He is very bad late in the game. So I think it's fine if he's strong early, but 15 mana is a lot considering he gets the ult a lot of games, so that probably removes like a 600 damage ult or a 400 damage ult once a fight at least. Tier 2 Pike starting man. Wow, Pike doesn't need a nerf. He's already like, assassins other than like 3 or 4 of them are all pretty bad. It's not that Pike's strong that everyone's playing him. It's just because when you go assassins, you don't have many other options of things to play. Like, this is a terrible nerf. Twisted Fate health increase. I don't really think he needed any changes. He was probably fine before. Blue card mana increase. Wow, that's actually a lot. He gets 50 and 70 mana. Wow. Okay, so tier 2 TF, a lot stronger now. If it was 35, I thought he gave higher than 35 mana, but I guess not. I guess he gave 35. So I guess 50's that's huge. That just means your brand gets its ult up that much faster. Or Aurelion Soul. Evelyn execute threshold decrease. Okay, that's good. They did 2 nerfs to her. I hate game balancers, because they always nerf something twice. And I really don't think that's that necessary, because they probably didn't need to do this execute threshold and then just lower the damage, because everything already pretty much kills every time she executes, but she won't get ridiculous hex tech heals if you lower this. I don't know the actual math on it, but I always hate it when they double nerf things, because she's good, but she's not extreme OP. People found ways to play around her by playing a lot of dragons. She was only really OP in the beginning of the patch, when no one really learned how to deal with her yet, but now everyone does. They build a lot of dragons, so she's not absolutely insane that you need to nerf 2 things about her. Katarina mana decreased to 85. That's a big buff, because it always feels like it takes 10 years for her to get her ultimate, so 15 less mana is actually a lot. That's like 2 autos less. Yeah, because now when you stack tiers on her, it's like she gets it that much faster. So that's very interesting. She's probably even good now, you know. Tier 4, yeah, I want to try out some Imperial Katarina builds. Tier 4, Akali damage increase. Okay, yeah, that's a good buff. Akali kind of fell by the wayside, and always with the Pike nerf, or yeah, with the Pike nerf, this should increase her as an option for third assassin in most comps, or even be the primary one and stack her with items, because 275 to 350, that's a huge percentage increase. Tier 5, Inhibitia, ability duration. Okay, so now she has higher DPS, but the same overall damage output per ultimate. This is a good change. She was a little flat on damage. Pantheon health decrease and Pantheon damage decrease. So this is a good double nerf because Pantheon was absolutely ridiculously OP, whereas Evelynn wasn't. So I'm completely fine with this double nerf. And it's also just like stat nerfs, not necessarily like how the champion works nerfs, because that's actually much bigger. Okay, let's go into the items. BF Sword damage decrease. This shouldn't do that much to BF Sword because like Guardian Angel is put on Sejuani Cho'Gath, and that's like the primary item that you build on Bloodthirst or on BF Sword. So I think overall, Guardian Angel's still gonna be broken on tanks because they get to get their AoE ultimate off. This does hurt people like Rengar, people like Draven. To what extent, I don't know. I think they're still definitely both playable. Maybe not so much. Yeah, Draven and Rengar were both pretty strong before, so they should probably still be pretty decent if you get them easier. It just makes it slightly less attractive now. Frozen Heart debuff duration increased to 4 seconds. That's actually going to be really good on assassins now. Okay, maybe the Pike nerf makes a little bit of sense because Frozen Heart's really good on him, and if he's jumping over past teams multiple times a fight, with a longer duration on Frozen Heart, maybe that's why they nerfed his mana a bit. But this definitely doesn't make up for his nerf. It's just like, oh, the nerf isn't so bad because one item that's good on him is slightly better. But you rarely build that many items on Pike, though. You normally just throw a tier on him and call it a day. Locket of the Iron Solari buff to 300 and last 1 more second. Yeah, that's fair. No one's really building it, so it's fine to buff it. Swordbreaker, chance to disarm, change to 33% chance, and disarms for 3 seconds. So overall, this is definitely a buff because getting the first disarm is so much more important, and the timing doesn't really matter too much of how much they're disarmed for. So that's good. Swordbreaker was probably the worst item in the game. Zephyr banish duration increases 6 seconds. I don't think you should buff Zephyr. It's already really good, and this makes it like highly RNG based, because this whole patch was about reducing RNG with like all the item drop changes, but this just increases the RNG again because Zephyr's kind of like a rocks paper scissors game. Everyone's moving their champions a lot at the end of the game, and 1 more second means a lot because a lot of people can die within a second. And once your guy gets out of banish, he might not be able to have as much of an impact, or he might be 1v9 by that point. I think Zephyr's actually one of the strongest items in the game, late game. It's just not very good early, but I thought it was in a fine spot. It's just a situational item that you can build and potentially just win games with late game. It's probably one of the best items late game. So I'm assuming all these bug fixes are just quality of life and making sure that things are properly doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm going to skip over that. Oh, and a new soundtrack. It'll now change based on what phase of the game you're in. Okay, that's kind of cool. During the shopping phase, music is calmer, and battle phase, it transitions into more combat-driven style. All right, that's pretty cool. And different chapters. All right, music change. This is probably the best change of the patch. Mainly because this is a completely ridiculous patch. Don't agree with a lot of the changes. Like this wild thing's kind of crazy. I think Rengar's going to be really strong. Nara's going to be... Like, why would you nerf Yordles when they're already not played? They didn't buff Yordles to compensate for this. It just doesn't make sense. This Kazakh's nerf, not really warranted. The Pike, yeah. We'll see what happens, but that's pretty much what this patch is. Hope you guys have fun playing it in the next 2 weeks. See ya.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on my socials below.